Hey guys, I want to start off by sharing my own experience when it comes to making goals and resolutions and having big dreams about all the change I'm going to make in my life. And the truth is that for me, there's been many times in my life where I just get in this crazy attitude of like, I am going to change everything about me this next season of my life. And I have all these big dreams, I make all these really, really big goals, and it often doesn't happen. And I want to share with you today what I've learned about life change and habit change, because I've come to realize that it's actually a really bad idea to make big goals. And it's an even worse idea to make multiple goals at the same time. There's actually been a number of studies done that have proven scientifically that our willpower is limited. And it's actually more like a muscle than just this unlimited thing of reserve that we can tap and grow. So for example, there was one famous study done where two participants were brought into the same room. Now, in this room, there was a bowl of radishes and a bowl of cookies. And one group was told, hey, you can eat as many radishes as you want, but you can't eat any cookies for like 20 minutes or something like that. And the other group was told, hey, you can eat as many cookies and radishes as you want. And of course, none of them ate any of the radishes. And they said, okay, thanks for participating. Oh, by the way, we have another study going on. Could you help us with that? And they gave them a puzzle to solve that was actually impossible to solve. And the real test was how long the different participants would spend working on this impossible test. Now, here's the really interesting part. The people who had eaten however many chocolate chip cookies they wanted, they lasted around 18 minutes. The people who had only eaten radishes and were smelling these delicious cookies the whole time, guess how long they lasted? They lasted less than half as long. And what the researchers used the study to prove is that the reason the radish group lasted so little is because their willpower was already depleted. They'd already used it up, resisting the temptation to eat the cookies for the last 20 minutes. What this shows us is that willpower is like a muscle, and when that muscle gets tired out, you can't use it anymore. All right, I'll give you an object lesson to demonstrate this. When we make one big goal, it's like, I'm just gonna hold this weight for 2 minutes straight. Now, I could maybe hold this for 2 minutes, but it's already getting a little tiring. And then, you know what we do after that? We're like, okay, I'm gonna hold this up for 2 minutes straight, and then I'm gonna pick up another weight, and I'm gonna hold that up for 2 minutes straight. How's that gonna work out for you? And the funny thing is, at least for me, is in the past, I've said things like, well, I'm just gonna make a really big commitment though. I'm really committed, right? Right? That would be like, well, I made a promise I'm gonna hold this out for 2 minutes, therefore I'm gonna really do it this time. That's just silly, you guys. Just because you made a promise to do something or resolve to do something doesn't give you the power and ability to actually follow through and do it. So what do we do? Okay, the fact that our willpower is limited means that number one, it's much better to make one change at a time. And number two, the fact that our willpower is like a muscle and it can get tired up and used up means we have to be very strategic about how we apply it. And rather than making big, huge, sweeping changes to our lives, it's actually much better to choose to change small things. So to go back to this example one more time, what if instead of saying, I'm gonna hold this up for 2 minutes straight every single day, what if your goal turned into, I'm gonna hold this up for 20 seconds every day? Number one, that's doable. It's actually possible to do. What's even more is over time, that muscle is going to get stronger and it's going to become more and more automatic. And so the key to this all is to realize that small changes are better than big changes, and one change is much better than many changes. Now, that all raises the question of like, well, okay, well, how do you do that? And what kinds of things would you change? Or how do you go through that? And that's what I'm gonna be talking about in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this inspires you to make the kind of changes in your life that will affect the trajectory of your life in the way God wants it to be affected. And not do what I've done for years, which is make really, really big goals and a bunch of goals and then not make any of them. I want you to make the goals that you set for yourself. That means starting small and starting with one thing. So guys, dream big, but start small.